ASMR video because I know it helps many of you fall asleep, feel relaxed, but I know for others of you it makes things feel worse. So if this is not your thing, click over another one of my 1,000 videos I have on YouTube because I'm sure there's something there that could be helpful in your time of need. But for today's video, I'm just going to be whispering and doing mantras and affirmations and things because a lot of you said that it's whispering that you enjoy the most. So that's what we'll be doing today. And I wrote down a bunch of affirmations, and let's just get into them. The first affirmation is, I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. And I really like this one because a lot of times I think I even personally feel like things happen out of my control. And it can feel like bad things happen and there's nothing I can do, but in truth, we are the architect of our own life. Other people can choose what they want and do what they want, but at the end of the day, we get the ability to decide how we want to respond. We don't have to react, and we don't have to allow other people into our building site. And I kind of like that idea, like we're architects or we're construction workers and we're building our life. And we don't have to allow anybody onto that construction site that doesn't belong there. So I kind of like that one. The second one is, today I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. And remember, these are affirmations. These are things you say sometimes when you don't even really believe them. But it does help me sometimes to just remember that life is good. Things are okay. I have a lot to be thankful for. I have a lot to be joyful about. And instead of letting, one bad instance or somebody cutting me off on the highway ruin my whole day, I instead try to focus on all the good in my life and all the things that I have going for me, and knowing that it really is filled with joy and I have a wonderful, wonderful life. And I also like that the affirmation talks about energy because there's some days where I swear I'm just really lethargic even though I've slept well, I've ate well, not going to make us feel any better. But if we've peacefully detached, we allow ourselves to let those toxic people go. People who've hurt us, people who are harmful and say nasty things. They don't deserve to have a place in our life. And yeah, we can communicate with them, we can try to make it better, but if it doesn't get there, it's okay to peacefully detach. This next affirmation kind of rolls off of the last one, and that is, a river of compassion washes away my anger and replaces it with love. And I think a lot of times we can get wrapped up in negativity and in anger for those who've hurt us or things that have happened to us. But if we allow love and compassion to wash all that anger away, we can finally be free of it, finally be ourselves. Because the truth about it, holding on to anger and upset only hurts us. It doesn't hurt the people in our lives that might have harmed us, right? We have to let that go. We have to peacefully detach. And then we can allow love and compassion to wash all that anger away. And that's really empowering if you think about it. This next affirmation kind of makes me laugh because I just filmed a video about imposter syndrome, and this kind of ties into it. And this affirmation is, I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. And I think a lot of us go through these periods in our life. I deal with it a lot too, like where I think, what do I know? How did I get here? How can I even help? I don't even know what I'm doing. And we feel like we're kind of a phony or a fake. But reminding yourself that you possess all the qualities needed to succeed is something we should be doing a lot, because you're there for a reason. You've worked hard to get there and you deserve it, and you possess all the qualities needed to succeed. And I really like this next affirmation because it's so true, but so hard sometimes. And it is, happiness is a choice. I base my happiness on my own accomplishments and the blessings I've been given. And I really like this affirmation because it is truly a choice. We can choose to be happy or not. And I say that understanding that how you feel is valid, and we have every right to feel it and be in it. But we don't always have to get wrapped up in it and let it ruin days and weeks and months. And so, know that you can choose to be happy sometimes. You can decide to focus on the positive. You don't always have to focus on the negative. And I believe that when we talk nicely to ourselves and to those around us, we will feel happier and healthier overall. So just think about that. Pay attention to it and know that happiness is a choice. This next affirmation is one that I know is hard for all of us. You guys have all told me it's really hard for you from time to time. But it is. I am courageous and I stand up for myself. And I've mentioned this a lot when it comes to like toxic relationships or communication issues that we have. Like, we have to be courageous. We have to stand up for ourselves. And I often am reminded that as an adult, because I'm like, no one's going to do it for me. I have to do it for myself. I have to be courageous. I have to stand up for myself. And I just say that to remind you of the strength you have within, because I think sometimes if we have had bad things happen to us, we feel really beat down. We struggle to not focus on the negative. We can often forget just how strong we are. But it's there. We just have to, feed it and tell it it's okay. And so I encourage you, be courageous. Stand up for yourself. This next affirmation I know is going to be hard for a lot of you, but it's really powerful, and it is, many people look up to me and recognize my worth. I am admired. And it's true, we have a wonderful community. So many people look up to each and every member of this community. They admire you for your strengths, for who you are. You have worth. And I want you to remember that, because I often think that that's where self-confidence comes from. It's just feeling like others know that we're worth it. They know, they look up to us, we're admired. And I know that can sound so vain, but it comes from a deeper place. And I would just encourage you to let that one sink in. You are admired. Because you are. People look up to you. And even if you don't believe it right now, keep saying it to yourself, because it's important that we know that we're all worth it. And that we're important to every other member of this community, because together, right, it's always together we work towards a healthy mind and a healthy body. So just consider that. Now, this affirmation I couldn't pass up because it's just so good. And you can look these up online, by the way. If you need some affirmations or mantras that you want to say to help boost your mood and improve your day, you can just Google like affirmations, positive affirmations, and the whole list will come up. There was one that was like 80 affirmations, so there's a lot of them. These are just ones that I liked. This one says, I'm conquering my illness. that life is just beginning. Every time we decide to make a positive change, every time we try to do better for ourselves and those around us, our life is just beginning. So know that today's a new day. It's a new fresh start. And frankly, we're just getting started. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you like the whispering instead of the tapping and